And then don't forget to flip it over and do the other side. Okay, so I just sprayed them all. And then another little trick you can do to get the petals extra dark is where you sprayed, there's going to be a little bit on the table surface. Push your fingertips down on the tip and kind of rub that in, and it'll soak it in a little bit darker on the tips of the petals. I know it's really dark, but you can kind of see it, even it gets it on both sides too. Oh, there's a little bit of blue on here because I apparently didn't clean the table enough. Okay, so now you've got all your petals done. And before you start gluing them, you can do the base. So just fold it in half, glue the bottom, and then you're going to put more glue and then roll it up. But before I do that, I'm going to start curling the petals with the wand. Just start with the smallest. And then I kind of wrap it around, and then I curl the very, very end over the tip. I think it's a 1-inch barrel, but I've used a smaller one and that's been fine too. This is how it turns out. And this in and of itself has a beautiful curve to it, but to really help it curl even tighter, you can overlap that bottom piece. And then when you go to start attaching it over the base, it's going to completely cap over, and you do a few more, and it's going to completely cover this, hopefully. So I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to curl all the petals, and then I'll show you how I glue them together. Okay, so I have them all curled now, and I'm just going to start putting it together. So this is going to be the center. Like this, and then this is kind of important. These are actually not big enough to start at the very bottom, but that won't matter. So instead of putting it down here, I'm going to actually put it up here. And I'm going to try to make it so that it covers this. Keep overlapping with the little slit that you cut. Rotate them a little bit. Keep going around. And if you need to, you can even add a little extra glue here and there to kind of really make it tightly cover the center. Just keep kind of working your way around. Okay, so this is going to become the center. I didn't quite cover it, that's okay. And then as you keep going, you can make them open up more and more, or you can keep using the slits if you want the petals to curl inward more. It's up to you. It's how tight you want the petals to be going in toward the center. and just keep going around in a circle. Overlap each petal over the next one as you put it on. Thank you, Juliet. Okay, so find where I was. Here. And you can see it's starting to come together. Uh-oh. Food coloring on your hand. There. As you keep going around too, your petals, remember that you cut, are bigger, and so you can start attaching them further down on the rose base because you've got more material to work with the more you keep going around. And the cool thing too is if you feel like you didn't put enough color on them, you can actually spray it after you've constructed it all the way. I actually kind of pinch the petals in a little bit at the bottom, and that makes the rose petals sort of flare out. I'll try to show it. So here we go. Do the next one here. So when you go to attach it, pinch it in and then squish it down into the glue. And what that does is it makes the petal actually pop out, but it still has that curved shape. And just keep going around.
Mom, do it to this.
She made a little V sign with her fingers.
V, 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 V,
That's silly. My favorite part is the biggest petals at the very end. These are fun. Okay, last one. And if I decide I want this to have a little more color, and I can actually spray it another time. I'm running a little low. So I'm going to hold it like this and try to spray it just across the top so that it gets the tips of the petals. And I'm out of spray. That's it. That's how I do the rose. And then after it dries, or even before it dries if you want, You can use a fine pair of scissors. And you can snip a little here and there to kind of make the petals look a little bit more natural. Sometimes the petals split. Just like that. There you go.